What is up, everybody? Jay Nell here with my UFC 191 recap video. Happened last night. I hope you saw it. I told you not to sleep on it. It was good. And I went 5 out of 6. So I'm back. First up, honorable mention though, I did not do a prediction on this, but I should have. John Lineker versus Francisco Rivera. They got fired the night, and boy, did they deserve it. It ended in about two so odd minutes in the first round, and they just came out swinging, throwing blows and bones back and forth, rock'em sock'em robot style. John Lineker actually connected first, and he dropped Francisco. Then he got on top of him, got up against the fence, got on him, just started raining shots, raining shots. Looks like the ref was going to stop it, but then Francisco managed to stand up, and then he started throwing blows back, landed a combination, stumbled John back, and then they're in the middle of the octagon, just throwing. It was crazy. Eventually they get on the ground again. John Lineker gets him in the guillotine, and he submits Francisco Rivera in the first round. Talk about had your heart going. It was amazing. Check it out. Now, on the prelims, the fight that I did lose, the only fight that I lost, I picked Paul Felder to beat Ross Pearson. He did not. And I actually didn't see that fight because I didn't see the prelims, but I heard about the John Lineker, so I looked that one up already. Haven't looked up the Pearson, so I haven't seen it yet, but I know that I lost that pick. Now, into the main event, or main card, and first up I got this pick. I chose Paige VanZant to beat Alex Chambers. She did. And she's ever improving. She's young, 23. The skill's not there yet, and you can tell, but she overcompensates with just sheer tenacity. She's aggressive, nonstop pace, great cardio. She does hit pretty hard. You can hear her shots, and she's just non-stop. She stays on you. She wears you down. She breaks your spirit. Now, she takes a lot of shots. Alex actually hit her quite a few times, but she has a hard chin. She just terminated right through those shots and kept going. She's not going to be able to do that with Claudia Gadelha. She's definitely not going to be able to do that with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. So the issue here is that she's ranked number 7, and if she keeps going the way she is, she's going to get a title shot soon, and she's not ready. I will say that Paige isn't ready for that top 3, especially those top 2 ladies I mentioned, the champ and Claudia, number 1 contender. She's not ready for them yet. So just keep going like you're going, though. Ever improving, one to watch. Who would you like to see next for Paige VanZant? Next up, I got this pick as well. I chose Cory Anderson to beat Jan Blachowicz, and he did. Lasted all 3 rounds. He got a unanimous decision. I totally agree. First round was very competitive, actually. They were going back and forth. I think that first round could have gone either way. Second 2 rounds, Cory kind of figured some things out, started to win the stand-up game, took him down, ground and pound, held position. Definitely won the last 2 rounds. He's an up-and-comer, steadily improving. He's like a sponge in a good camp. Who would you like to see next for Cory Anderson? Now, next up, I got this pick as well. I chose Anthony Johnson, Rumble Johnson, to beat Jimmy Manuwa, and he did. You got the feeling that the crowd was just waiting for him to KO Jimmy. I think I was too. We're just waiting. I think he wanted to showcase some of the things he was working on because he took Jimmy down, did some wrestling there, had some kicks. He kind of showed a little of his diversity in his attack. Second round, came in there in about 30 seconds, caught him with a short shot, knocked him on his butt. And then with the 2-piece, I believe he KO'd him. And then with the second piece, I think he woke him back up like a flash knockout. So I believe he's ranked number 1, Rumble Johnson, that is. So who do you think is next for Rumble Johnson? Do you think it's just automatically title shot? Or is there someone else you think he should fight for that title shot? Who do you think is next for Rumble Johnson? Now, co-main event, I was very unsure about this one, but I actually got this pick. I chose Andrei Arlovski to beat Frank Mir. I think both of them kind of fought maybe a little bit too soon after their last fight. Andrei about 3 months ago, and Frank, I think like 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, if that. Very recently, Frank had some belly meat he didn't have in his last few fights. He's not rock solid anymore, but he had a little bit more belly meat than we're used to. Both of these men actually kind of gasped by the second round. It was a good fight, but it was a little anticlimactic. I think we had such high hopes for this. I knew it wasn't going to be like a slobber knocker. First round, they got in there. They respected each other. They're both highly skilled, and they both had a game plan. Frank was able to kind of figure out Andrei's patterns and so Andrei wasn't able to actually do the type of damage he wanted. So even though Frank figured out the patterns and was able to defend himself, he wasn't really able to insert his game plan either. The first round goes to Frank. He was able to hold him up against the fence and win the dirty boxing match. Second round was very even. Frank actually did work and got the takedown, but Andre was able to stifle all of his offense and get it stood back up. Andre did that quite a few times in this fight, stifle Frank's offense and get the fight either stood up or separated by the ref. So Frank wasn't able to really input his offense, but neither was Andre. That second round, Frank did get the takedown. Andre, though, won the stand-up game. I think that second round was really close. Really close. And the third round, I think Andre won. He just kind of got the better of the exchanges, stifled his offense, and I think the third round he won. So it was a unanimous decision in favor of Andre. I agree. It was kind of mixed reactions by the crowd, so let me know if you don't agree. Either way, who's next for both men, Frank Mir and Andre Arlovski? To me, this was not a title-worthy win for Andre, so who do you think is next for, again, both men, Frank Mir and Andre Arlovski? Now, main event, and of course I chose my boy, the UFC flyweight champion and still flyweight champion, Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse. And yeah, everyone's talking about how John Dodson has improved, but here's the thing, so has Demetrius. And I didn't realize that their first fight was 3 years ago. It was Demetrius' first title shot before he hit that mean learning curve that he's on now. This was a thorough ass whooping. He won, in my opinion, he won all 5 rounds. 2 of the judges gave 1 round to John, but I think he won all 5 rounds. Demetrius overwhelmed him with so much offense from minute 1 to minute end. Same pace in minute 1 to minute end. John was able to hit him a couple times in the first 2 rounds, but not really, because he was too busy defending himself, because Demetrius threw everything at him. Punches, kicks, knees, elbows, spinning back fists, flying knees, submission attempts, takedowns, level changes, angles, combinations, long combinations, short combinations. He threw everything at him. Everything. All the time. The rate of offense in these so quick shots you don't even see coming. It's almost frustrating to watch, because you can't even take a drink, because I just have to watch Demetrius, because he does so much so quick all the time. He's amazing. He's that guy. Now, here's one thing I will say about John Dodson. I think he left something out there. He was so intent on knocking Demetrius out that he didn't take advantage of his wrestling. It took 3.5 rounds for Demetrius to finally take John Dodson down, because John is actually stronger than Demetrius. Some of those takedowns, he was just muscling Demetrius off of him and actually pushing Demetrius off of him, stumbling him back. He caught a kick and he slammed Demetrius down, and actually he did some shots, and then he stood up and allowed John to get back up, because he just didn't want to wrestle him. He was intent on knocking him out, and I think that was to his detriment. I think there might have been an opening there in the wrestling department, because he was clearly stronger than Demetrius, and he just did not take advantage. There was a couple of moments up against the fence where I think he could have taken him down, and he just wasn't looking for that. He just wasn't trying to do that. So I think he left something out there. That's what I'll say to John. I think you left something out there, being too intent on knocking him out. Either way, you thoroughly got your ass whooped. So let me know how you did on all your picks. Oh gosh, Demetrius, such a ring general. He got kicked in the balls at one point. Shook it off. Herb calls time. He said, no, get out the way. Herb was like, oh, okay, my bad. Demetrius is on. He's pound for pound best in the world in my opinion. He's that guy. Who do you think is next for Demetrius Johnson? Should he move up and get a super fight with TJ? Should John Dodson move up and maybe try his hand at bantamweight? Let me know how you did on all of your picks. Let me know any injury updates. Talk to me just in general. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where I do exclusive 15-second recaps and predictions. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Talk to me. Take care. And goodbye.